The feel-good story of the Combine has to be Central Florida linebacker Shaquem Griffin. Ran the fastest 40 for a linebacker since 2003. Put up 20 reps on the bench press with a prosthetic hand because he only has one hand. Lost the other to a congenital birth defect when he was 4 years old. CC, how impressed were you with Griffin's performance?
Oh, very impressed. I mean, this has been a great story. If you watch the UCF story last year in college football with them going undefeated, Coach Frost leaving after the bowl game, going to Nebraska, where he's from. But him and his brother, the last couple years, his brother plays cornerback for Seattle. It's an amazing story when you look at some of the greatest athletes in the world. And for this kid, who's his whole life, it wasn't like it just happened. Like, his whole life, people have doubted him. And we always say, well, speed kills. The speed to get you paid in the NFL. Well, if that is the case, having a good resume, it shouldn't hurt him as far as the NFL draft. It's amazing. Now you can see why he was such a good football player. It makes sense. Like, his tape and what he did at UCF as a linebacker, it makes sense when you see the vertical leap. When you see him playing even in space, catching a football with one hand. Like, it's an amazing story, and it just adds to the storylines of the NFL going forward as far as opportunities and what football can do for your life. So I'm sure that he probably tried to play a lot of other sports, and football being one of the most complicated to be able to play without a hand. So I'm a big fan of him and his family.
This is amazing. Keep in mind, there was not a single player at the Combine who had accomplished more than him in college who could lose more in a 72-hour period, because people were looking for reasons to doubt him. If he can't do the bench press, if he runs a slow 40, people were looking for reasons to say, we're not going to draft the one-handed kid. This is a guy who won Conference Player of the Year, who was the best player on the only undefeated team in all of college football. He's their best guy, the MVP of their Peach Bowl win. And then he goes to the Combine and knocks it out. And if people don't know the full background of his story, I just want to let people know this. He was born with a hand, but a deformed hand and deformed fingers. When he was 4 years old, his mother walked into the kitchen. He's 4. I have a 4-year-old. Saw him trying to cut his fingers off with a butcher knife. That's when they decided to end up doing the amputation.
Because he had no feeling in his
much.
fingers. And so, when he touched things, it was so painful for him that he decided
to do that. To see his identical twin brother go to UCF along with him, then get drafted. The year after his twin brother leaves, he leads them to an undefeated season. To do what he did in the 40, and then also on the bench press, with one hand, like, to have built up that much strength in his core and his chest and his shoulders, even though we all know how hard it must be for him to lift weights in his left hand. Like, the different things he has to do, it's unbelievable. But forget the story part of it. This guy's a great football player. This guy will make, I would imagine, would make a team better as a mid-round draft pick. I love this story.
Absolutely. You can't duplicate the type of speed. We saw him playing in college football. He plays in space. He rushes the quarterback. Also, as a guy, when you go to play in football games, there's certain characteristics that you want in the football players. And it's just not all based on just raw talent. It's based on what people have overcome. And I'd love to go into a football game with a guy who's been told he can't do something his whole life. So his ability to be able to get over obstacles and how that transitions over to his teammates, to me, those are the kind of guys that need to be playing in the league.
Really great story.
So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, as we are. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.